How about this one now? Yeah, okay, there we go. It's working. Sorry about that. Okay, I'll switch back to the talking. Okay, sorry for that delay, and sorry for that audio issue. I rebooted my machine because just by running Linux occasionally it gets in a kind of not great state.
How about this one now?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
As we can see, yeah, the audio is definitely working. Or here, sorry. Audio is definitely working. It's a bit late this morning. I had to grab myself a cup of coffee. It's in my new Hello Kitty mug from my trip to San Diego. Anyways, I like coffee. And given my issues with the audio this morning, I clearly need my coffee to be able to do these code reviews. So let's go and switch back into live mode. And so this is the Spark PR review dashboard. It's really useful. We can see sort of things that are, running in Jenkins. We can see if they merge cleanly. We can see, like here, for example, this one doesn't merge cleanly, so we might not spend as much time reviewing it. There's also mllib, and it also allows us to drill down by component. So this is everything, but then I can go and be like, I'm really only interested in ML PRs. This is not most likely is not a valid pull request, and we can see here actually that this person's little box is surrounded in red, so they've probably already actually asked the person that created that PR to close it, because it's not like, this is not the sign of a good PR. This is interesting. Test refactors. We've been talking a lot about that because we have these giant test files inside of Apache Spark right now. And actually, let's go ahead and take a look at those. And we can talk about this. So, for example, we can see here. It's fine. SQL test, for example. This is 6,000 lines of just test code, right? And that's not the end of the world. 6,000 lines is I've certainly had files that were worse, but we could refactor this to be a little bit better. And so I'm really hoping this is what this is about, but I could be wrong. Oh no. That's not what it's about. It's about improving the quality of the test. Still important. Oh, right, yes, because I'm in mllib, and those tests are in Python, right? That's why. Okay, yes. Anyways, that makes a lot more sense. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to go back into OBS for now, and we're just going to go ahead, and we're going to hide the little chat thing, because it's not working this morning, so we'll save that for another day. Oh, right, and we've seen that we can actually sort by different things. I normally sort by how recently it was updated. And so with that, we're going to jump into Python because my original plan... So this is the thing that looked interesting to me. Supporting JSON options by schema of JSON. Adding a new from CSV. This is weird. Oh, this is a thing that we've been sort of going back and forth on for a while. Unfortunately, it looks like it doesn't merge right now. That's very unfortunate. And this is the PR which I actually plan to start today out with. But let's actually go take a quick look at this get active session. No. Okay, this actually does merge fine. But I disagree with this other committer. That's weird. I'm not super sure why we're CCing this person. Okay, yeah, so, yeah. Sorry, so then what we're going to do is we're going to go in and say, so in the last review, we asked them to add a test for get active session when there is no active session, right? Because that's one of the situations this could be called in. There was pretty good test coverage, but it was missing that case. And so the author was like, I have a question. in stop, should I also call this? And because when I test it without an active session, it fails. That's what it says down here. So now our response is going to be like, yes, that sounds like the right approach. And I think we need that. So I'll go ahead, we'll hit comment. The tests part, I'm a little less certain about. Let's go ahead. I want to... do we need to extend reuse SQL test case? It looks like we can just use... Oh, 1 second. I have a second cell phone alarm which is going off. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Let's go take a look at reuse SQL test case while we're here. Anyways, reused SQL. There's no strong need for it. However, it does mean that the first get or create will already have a session you can use. Okay, so that's the thing. Start review. But given that we set up and tear down the session, this may be less than ideal. Sorry. Yeah. I don't think. I don't strongly agree here. I think given that the method names are camel case in the Spark session in Python, I do want to although we do not on this one. There was another one with the naming convention where I disagreed. Where was it? Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so we say, like, yeah, where's the other? Okay. Normally the ditto comments. There we go. And Spark session. And seems perfectly reasonable. And so this is just, yeah, in Python we would normally call this spark underscore context, but because we gave it a class name with camel cases because we were implementing Java interfaces, I think this is pretty reasonable. Oh yay, I'm so glad that you're enjoying the live code review. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce your username, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. I don't know why this keeps going into start review, because have I left comments elsewhere? Normally it just goes into add review. I'm slightly confused with the GitHub view today, but that's all right. Okay, that looks okay, right? I'm not super sure what's going on with that part, but left some small comments. I think the naming, left some small comments. Looking forward to seeing the fix on the stop side as well. And so that's just like, yeah. It's not an approve or request changes. It's just like, yeah, there's things that we need to do, but we're getting really close with this PR. Oops, and the GitHub. Okay, we'll just delete this one. Okay, so that's good. That's one of the simpler PRs for today. The one which is a little bit more intense, which I said was the one I was going to start with, is this. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. This is cool, I think. That's, I mean, yeah, it's a small cluster. It's tested on a 4-node cluster, but that's still pretty reasonable. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the code. I'm excited. This is, I thought this was going to be arrow out of order batches on the workers, but this is on the driver program. It's still important. It's less important in my opinion, but it's still always good to get these improvements. So, optionally load an ordering of batches as well. Okay. So, load batch order is optional parameter, defaults to false. Okay, that looks like a pretty reasonable init. So inside of load stream, if we have a batch order specified, num is read in stream. Okay, so this is the number of batches to be read. Parx and read. Oh, okay. Interesting, though. So I'm confused how this speeds up. Maybe looking at the Scala code would make it make more sense. Oh, wait, no, okay. So for batch and reader, yield batch. this load stream, I'm a little bit confused, but that's not bad, but I do want to read the Scala code. Ah, okay, that makes more sense. So we receive the batches, yes, and then after we've received the batches, we read a batch order, and then what's this batch order? This doesn't do anything with the batch order though, right? Like, this sets batch order, but do we use it anywhere? Probably somewhere else. Okay. Ah, here we go. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is where we use it. That makes more sense. Huh. Okay. Yeah, and then we reorganize it. So initially we just constructed the table from a list of batches, but now we give it the list of batches based on the batch order that is specified to us. That makes sense. Okay, so here Felix's worry is that by so I'm also curious. So if we have an empty data frame, so let's say we have an empty data frame, because that's a good use case to think through. How's this gonna go? Like, there's no partitions in our data frame. Can I have a partitionless data frame? That's an interesting question. I definitely can in Scala, actually, now that I think about it. But that would just be fine. Right, batch order is none. But no, we set it here to an empty list, so that's fine. So get batch order and reset. I mean, this function feels kind of weird, right? Like, underscore collect as arrow. Oh, this is because of how load. Oh, hi friends. Yeah. So this is probably structured this way because of how load from socket is written, and I'm not really sure how load from socket is written. And so that probably explains why I'm getting confused with this code. So it's inside of RDD. Okay, so let's go take a look at that. RDD.py def load from socket. Yeah, okay. Serializer. It's an interesting question. And transgirl is the answer. Okay, serializer, load stream. The socket will automatically be closed when garbage collected. So this is my question to the author. Looking at load from socket. I'm a bit confused. Looking at load from socket, I think I understand why this was done as a separate function here. But what about if the serializer itself encapsulated the reordering? What about if the serializer itself returned? So it gives us a list of batches. Keyboard. It's one of the Razer keyboards. I don't remember which one. What about if the serializer itself returned either a tuple or reordered the batches itself? Okay. One could say that might break existing users of I'm just trying to get a better understanding. Not saying those are better designs. So I want to make sure I understand this code because I feel like I don't right now. So I'm going to leave some notes for the author. Because while we are in Spark 2.4's release cycle, I don't think this is targeted for, actually I should check if this is targeted for Spark 2.4. If it is, we're in a bit of a hurry. If it's targeted for Spark 3, then we're really not in a hurry, right? Because Spark 3 is not going to be anytime soon, and so we can take our time. I mean, we should always get it right, but it's just, I can take a little bit more time trying to understand things. Here, let's see here. Oh, it affects version 2.4. It doesn't have a target attached to it. Well, I'm still going to ask the question because I'm a little curious. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, here. If we're going to have get batch order and reset as a separate function, could we verify batch order is none before we reset and throw here if it's not? Just thinking future folks who might have to do here. And that's just like, this is totally reasonable to just reset it to an empty list, but if if it's not an empty list at this point, right? Someone forgot to get the batch order, so we should. This is just a suggestion. Yeah. Yeah, this is a little weird, personally. I don't know. But that's fine. This part, is this test case enough to trigger any possible problems by random? I think, also, yay, thanks. Have a lovely day. I'm not super sure. I think that there are probably other possible interesting cases. This looks pretty similar to the kind of test case we could verify with something like hypothesis, integrating. And so hypothesis, I want to double check. Python hypothesis. So it's property-based testing. Property-based testing is really cool. Oh, cool. I really want to do this. Integrate it into Spark at some point. It's on my to-do list, but I don't really have the time. So integrating hypothesis. It's probably too much work, but we could at least explore num partitions, space, and in a loop quickly here. Would that help, do you think? Felix. Oh, nope, different Felix. Okay, cool. And so start review. Let's take a look at how this goes. So this is dataset.scala. Batch order. Yeah, array buffer int. Interesting. I'm not. Okay, well, let's keep going. If arrow batches is not empty, index, comma, I, partition count plus 1. Wait, what is, oh, god damn it. Okay. I'm excited that we're going to reduce the memory requirements for this, but not super sure. So handle partition batches, index, I, arrow batches, indices, don't. For each. What is index here? So previously, Ah. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. To build a table. Plus yeah, the start review changing. So the fact that it always says start review rather than add a comment is like making me mildly nervous that it's not working as I'm used to. But yeah, so essentially this is ordered by the first part, which is the index, which we're called with, which makes a reasonable amount of sense. And then, so we sort by the index, and then we write out I. So I'm confused here. Arrow batches dot indices dot for each. So so I'm a little confused here. If we are called with multiple arrow batches, and the same index, then when we do our sort later, I'm not sure we will get the right result. Unless we're depending on a stable sort or something. In which case, I'd love to, I think we need to call that out as an assumption. If we're only ever going to be called with one batch at a time, I have some questions about the type signature. Right. I'm not super confident in this code yet, and I think a lot of that's just that I don't understand this code path super well right now, and that's okay, right? Like, I don't have to understand everything. That's part of why we have many different committers. But part of the reason why we do code reviews is so that multiple people understand the same code path, right? So ideally, this is written by committer Brian, but ideally, more than just Brian will understand this code because, burnout is a real thing, and it's nice to be able to take vacation and not worry about like Apache Spark breaking, and you being the only person who can fix it. So I am still a little bit confused, so I'm going to expand some of this code and see if it makes sense. But I'm not seeing it. I'm just not. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, this is serve to stream. So we can go take a look at Python RDD's serve to stream. Nope. I guess it might actually be inside of RDD. Serve to, nope. I don't actually know where serve to stream is defined. Let's go ahead and find it. Oh, it's probably inside of, wait. Wait, what? I'm confused. It's possible that I just have a really old version of Spark checked out, which is missing some core functionality. But I'm confused. Actually, yeah, okay, let's go ahead. Git branch. Where am I? Sure. Normally there's a huge list of branches here, but since this is my desktop and I don't use it nearly as much, okay, there we go. Okay, it is inside of Python RD. I was just in an old branch. Okay, serve. Okay, so serve to stream takes a thread name, write function, which takes a output stream and returns a type unit. Okay, that seems reasonable. So then we're going to go over here. So serve to stream, output stream, and then we construct a new data output stream. Is that a thing that I'm importing? It's a Java IO data output stream. So let's go Java data output stream. Okay. So our output stream, does it have a type associated with it? There's no type information here. Okay. Two arrow batch RDD from plan. Arrow stream batch writer. Yeah. Okay. This is starting to get far enough in the weeds. Oh, cool. May I know what a batch is and what a partition is? Writing partitions to Python in order, writing batches out of order. Yeah, sure. Stability and sorting. Sure. So we can talk about both of those questions. I'm sorry, I'm still getting over a little bit of a cold right now, which is why I'm working from home rather than going into the office, also because I get to work from home. Okay, so a partition in Spark is, let's see if there's Spark partitioning. Oh yeah, okay, Yasik has a really, okay, this is maybe kind of a very in the weeds definition. This one might be better. I want something high level with pictures. Okay, these are all very, sorry. Okay, yes, this one might be good. None of these have diagrams. Okay, fine. We'll just talk about partitioning. Oh yeah, sure. Sorry, I got into a very in-depth sort of thinking mode. So let me talk through the questions from Twitch, and then I'll answer the part on YouTube. So the partitioning part is essentially Spark splits up the work into different chunks. And these chunks are more or less called partitions. And this is done so that we can do the work on a bunch of different computers at the same time. And in this case, batches are... So batches are like chunks of arrow records. And we could have multiple batches inside of a partition, I think. And so this makes sense, right? Batches are ordered by index of a partition and batch number in the partition tuple. So that makes sense. We put in the index and the batch number, but then down here, this sort, oh, wait, I'm confused. Zip with index. Okay, actually, yes. Thank you for asking me to explain this, because now this comment no longer is needed. So index, comma, I. Let's switch this to, could we call I, what is it? It's the, something more descriptive, like partition batch num or similar. And then down here, we do a zip with index and we sort by the first part. And so I was misreading the zip with index, and I thought we were just sorting by the index here, but it turns out when we do the zip with index part here, we actually are sorting by this tuple. And so that's actually what we want to do. We want to sort by that tuple. I'm going to switch this to edit. How about sort by the partition index batch index tuple sort the output indice output global batch indices how about something like when I first read this code path, I got confused myself, so I think we should spend a bit of time on the comment here. Possibly also consider yeah, so hopefully that helps. Okay, stable sort is another thing. Don't actually need it here, but essentially when I thought we were sorting by index and we might have multiple things with the same index, if we have stable sort, then that means that the things in the order would preserve their original ordering. So if I had 1, comma A and 1, comma 0, and then I sorted it, I would get back 1, comma A and 1, comma 0. But if I didn't have stable sort, I wouldn't necessarily get them back in that order, because sorting by key. Anyways, so that's fine. So this is good. It's 9:53 a.m. We're getting to a pretty reasonable stopping point. And I think we're pretty much done with this review. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit finish review. Thanks for working on this. Reducing memory overhead pressure in the driver is always welcome. I got a bit confused reading the PR the first time through, so I think to look at how we can improve the readability a bit. And it's just like, hey, this is really good work. I'm really glad you're doing this. I got confused as fuck reading it, so maybe we can see if we can make it easier to understand for people. Yeah, okay, so that is it for that PR. We could go take a look at this one. So this is for each writer test failed on Python 3.6 and macOS High Sierra. Interesting. Oh, that's really sad. Shit. So my one concern is the comment, do we actually know who? Do we have a place to track this? I'd rather, do we have a blocker filed to verify this before release? Or are we going to ensure it's fixed? I don't have macOS personally, so I just want to make sure we don't have this issue fall through the cracks. And this is totally reasonable, like, but I just don't. Like, these are, oh god, Objective-C fork issues. Oh, fuck. Like, this is painful. We're not gonna go through these today because in part I don't have a Mac. I can't verify these problems. I'm just worried that it's not. If we just fix the test, you know, and don't fix the actual issue, we could find ourselves in a bad position. So I'm gonna go ahead, leave this comment. That'll be good. Actually, I'm gonna bring back. Okay, cool. So I think that's probably a reasonable stopping point. I'm gonna do my little sort of outro thing here. It's supposed to be an intro, but now I do it as an outro because it's the only time I remember. Because I'm always rushed in the morning. Sorry, just give me a second. Okay, so Holden and Boo's super fun live streams. We did Apache Spark code reviews. It was a lot of fun. I am Holden. My preferred pronouns are she or her. And I'm a developer advocate at Google. And that's a great question. How often do I stream? It varies from week to week. As a developer advocate, I spend a lot of time traveling, and this can make my streaming schedule a little bit hard. I try and do at least once a week with a code review. Normally, it's 2 to 3 times a week. I do code reviews on Friday. I normally try and do some live coding on Monday. I have something else happening this Monday, so today at 11 a.m. I'm going to do a little bit of live coding with the stream, and I'll try and find a time on Monday to schedule a little bit more live coding as well. And so I'm on the Spark PMC, and I contribute to many other open source projects. For example, this afternoon, or later on this morning, I'm going to be working on Arrow support. I'm a co-author of 2 books on Spark, actually 3, but 2 that I like to talk about. If you want to buy them, I think they're pretty cool. If you really like poking at internals, I think High Performance Spark is a pretty good book. I'm really glad that y'all are enjoying this. I think and I hope that doing this will hopefully get more people involved with code reviews in open source, because I think, in all honesty, a lot of people, we all want to contribute code to open source, but a lot of projects really, they need more help with reviews. We have lots of people that want to contribute to code, but we just don't have enough people to review the changes. And so, yeah, you can follow my code review live streams and live coding streams. They're on Twitch and YouTube. If you're interested in sort of like more produced-y-ish videos, I have a lot of tech videos. I have a lot of tech talks, and I've put most of them in this playlist when I can find them on YouTube. If you have feedback about this stream or really anything else, I have this Holden Talk feedback link that you can use as well. In addition to who I am professionally, I'm trans, queer, Canadian. I'm part of the leather community. I am... Oh, cool. I'm really glad that y'all appreciate this. I really appreciate that a lot. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'm really hoping that I can. Wondering what's the easy entry point to open source contribution? That's a great question. And that's a question I'll answer before I wrap up. So Spark is probably not the easiest project to enter into. It's really big and there's a lot of things going on. That being said, for a lot of Apache projects, the easiest thing to do is to go and find the Jira tracker, find something which is a small bug fix, and fix the small bug first. You don't need an account to search the Jiras, but I have one. I keep this filter of new PySpark issues. Newer issues are generally means that people care about them a little bit more. Honestly, Spark is maybe a little big at this point for that to be your starting point, but smaller projects like Airflow or things like that can be good. And I should probably add a getting started contributing thing. I did a getting started contributing to Spark Talk a while back. It was back in 2016. It's a little out of date, but if you're interested, I think it could be a good thing to watch. And I'm gonna try and do some live streamed first pull requests today, actually, with someone. That won't be live. We'll record it, and then if they're okay with it, we'll post it live, and you can watch the entire process, end to end. Okay, and with that, it's 10 a.m., and I haven't actually had any breakfast besides my lovely Hello Kitty coffee. So I'm going to wrap up. I've got another stream at 11 a.m. because, I don't know, it seemed like a good idea. And thank you all so much for joining me this morning. I hope you have a lovely day. Oh, and also, this is my wife, Carolyn. I can go and switch this into the... Yeah, that's my wife, Carolyn. We can see here that... Yeah, oh, cool. Hey, yay! I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Anyways, come back at 11 if you want to talk more. I'm going to go eat breakfast.